Hi guys, today I'll show you the recipe which is absolutely special for me because it's a recipe for a BAO buns made on a vapor but on a grill in a dish inspired with Asian cuisine. Take a look how to make it. But first we'll have to prepare the dough for BAO buns. So I'm putting more or less 10 grams of yeast in a bowl. And now we can add our liquid ingredients, which is milk, 36% sweet creamer, and the water. In the description you will find exact quantities. Now we have to mix the yeast with the liquid ingredients, and we can add dry ingredients, which is of course flour. And now a little bit of baking powder and a little bit of sugar. It's quite important when it's cold like today. And now we have to mix the whole thing and knead it. So remember, there's a protein called gluten in the flour, so you have to work on it really well to make it elastic, to make it stretch really nicely and to have a good ending product. So here's a mixer that you always have to have in your grilling station. It looks like this, and make sure you work on it really well, at least 10 minutes.
Much later.
And now the dough is perfect, it's kneaded, it's elastic. You can see now we can form some kind of a ball out of it, put it in the container, cover it obviously. I will do it inside the house and take it somewhere where it's warm, inside the house. Now we have to cut pork neck first in big slices and then in a big cubes. I'm putting all the pork neck inside the bowl. And now Char Siu marinade you can find online. I am using Scottish product, Scottish wrap Char Siu. In my opinion, it's really exceptional. There's plenty of stuff like star anise or really a little bit fruity. It's a little bit fruity and sweet and a little bit sour, really amazing. So I like to put this in my pork and also adjust it a little bit. Here's how I adjust this marinade. I add a little bit of orange juice and a little bit of sesame oil. It will make this dish really go to another level. And now we mix the whole thing. Of course, you can put it in your fridge for an hour or 2 or 6, but the research already has proven that it doesn't really matter for the inside of the meat. Marinating is just like putting some spice on top of the meat. So already we can make some skewers from this pork. Of course, you don't have to do it on a skewers. You can just cut some slices and put it on the grill. But skewers will make it easier to apply the pork to the BAO buns. Take a look at this color. There's beet in this wrap. That's why it's so beautiful. And now we can put it aside, and now we can form our BAO buns. I'm putting a bit of flour on the board. Now we're putting the dough to the board. We don't need this dough anymore. We have to be really careful in order not to destroy the structure of gluten which is inside. Let's form this dough in a shape like this. And let's cut it into 8 to 10 pieces. Now, I don't know if Chinese guys do it with their BAO buns, but I always do it. I form the buns into round things, like you're making a pizza or regular burger buns. I think it makes the gluten more flexible and more stretched. And we can leave these buns to rest just for a couple of minutes, and we can start forming the final shape of the BAO bun. So first of all, we make the bun a little flat, and now we roll the dough. And first we make the round shape out of this dough. So each time we flip it, we move it around 45 degrees. And after a few changes like this, we start flipping it only to the other side, because we want to make the shape a bit oval, like that. And now, if someone is old enough to remember Kermit the Frog, we make Kermit the Frog out of this dough. But important thing, we put a piece of paper that was prepared before. Piece of baking paper will be fine. And we have to put Kermit the Frog on the same piece of paper like this. And we're off for another one. So now I'll prepare the rest of them really fast. So now I'm collecting all the stuff on my board, and we're moving to our gas grill to make the skewers and to boil actually the buns. And now take a look how I prepared the gas grill. So All the burners are set up to minimum. So right here we have around 200 degrees Celsius, which is medium high temperature. But remember, if you have a wrap that contains a lot of sugar, you cannot attack it with a really high temperature. So this is actually perfect. And we put the skewers on the grill. So take a look at this, what I prepared here. Typical Asian vapor stuff, bamboo way of cooking. On the side burner I have a pan with water in there. So right here we have a water cooking over the side burner. We put the first bamboo thing. And what's important, remember that these buns will be much bigger after they're cooked, so make sure you leave some room for every bun. Make sure you save some distance between them. And another floor and another segment. I would put maximum 3 buns on each floor. Don't put too much because they might stick to each other. I have 2 left on the top. Now you close this thing, and it usually takes around 15 minutes to cook these buns. So we have more or less the same time to prepare the meat and the buns. Make sure to flip the meat from time to time. And in the meantime, let's prepare the sauce for the BAO. For this dish, the most amazing sauce that you can possibly add is a mayo, but different kind of mayo. I love mayo sriracha. Obviously, that's a subject that everyone already knows. It's like a classic, but take a look at my recipe for this sauce. So I add quite a lot of sriracha to this mayo and the fish sauce. Umami bomb. It will elevate the sauce to another level. And like a kewpie mayo, Japanese style mayo, a little bit more sour. So I like to add rice vinegar to this sauce. So it's a little bit like a kewpie mayo from Japan, a little bit more sour. And now we mix the whole thing. The sauce is amazing. Let's take a look on the grill. Skewers are really okay now. Let's leave them for a moment here and let's take a look at the buns. Buns are done. We can collect everything to our board. This is how it looks now. It rains a little bit, so let's do it really fast. Here's how the bun looks. We have to get rid of the paper. Just make sure you tear it really strongly. It doesn't really matter. A bit of sauce inside and a few pieces of pork. Let's say 2 or 3. Yeah, put it inside. A little bit of kimchi. For me, it's really crucial to get a good jar of kimchi because it really works well with this pork and with this bun. And now let's give it a taste. Oh my God, I'm getting really hungry. This is the first dish today. Would you believe that? This is really awesome. Crunch of the kimchi, softness of the bun, really amazing textures and awesome pork. You have to try this at home. Take care.